We're going to start with Tom Arth here and talk about, obviously, people may or may not know that you play tennis here. But not only that, you also help coach the team. How did that happen?
Well, you know, Mark, I had lived just a few blocks from St. Thomas. And I graduated from Cretin High School, won the state tennis title a couple years, had good grades, and of course they were all over me like you know what. And my folks were very much opposed for me to leave town. They wanted me to be under their control. But luckily I had a great neighbor, fellow Johnnie here, Mike Murphy. He came to join me tonight. I asked him to come over and talk to my folks and put a good word in for St. John's. So he came over a couple of times, and obviously I wound up at St. John's. So I get up here, try out for the tennis team. Father Alfred Deutsch was the coach. I was an upcoming freshman. I'm not bragging, but I beat every man on the team. So I was number one. I think that kind of upset him.
It's not bragging if you can prove it.
The season was over. Alfred calls me in and says, I'm getting up in age. How would you like to take over as player coach? I thought, oh, God, that's pretty good. I said, I already have a job. He said, well, this will be your job. I said, heck of a lot better than working the slop line over there in the refectory. He said, I'm going to talk to George Nürnberger, see if I can pull it through to you. And I said, well, I got to talk to my agent to make sure I get a no-cut contract here for 3 years. I should have got a no-cut contract for life.
Yeah, you should have, yes.
So he comes back and says, you got the job. So that's how it all began. We had great teams. I enjoyed coaching the guys for 3 years. I think we finished second or third every year, and that's how it began.
You know, and a lot of people may not know this about Tom. You know, he talks about Mike Murphy bringing you up, but you kind of paid that forward along the way, didn't you? You would take kids up here to St. John's and turn prospective students into future Johnnies. You want to hazard a guess as to how many kids you did that for?
Mark, I can't tell you how many, but in my younger, better health days, I did quite a bit of it. But here's the story I want to relate to you folks. After I came up here, and I came back and went to a lot of the games, most every sport I could go to. And then now that I don't get around as much anymore, I talk to these graduates at the golf tournaments I work at. And here's the question I ask every one of these students, and this is 100% true. I said, how did you like St. John's? What was your experience? And 100% of these young men said it was the greatest experience they've ever had in their life. And they said, you know what? It's not the wins or losses on the courts or the fields. It's because of the wonderful coaches we have. And, you know, I've befriended all these coaches through the years, all these young guys, Pat Hawes, Gary, you know, and just continue on with Doug and all of them. I just keep in touch with them. It's what these coaches do off the field, their father figure, their mentoring. You play sports for 2-3 years, then you got to get out into the real world and look at all the great people we've graduated here. And honest to God, folks, every student, every past, present, that's their message.
Thank you, Tom. Appreciate it.